Clinton is the head of our party at this stage, and so I wouldn't be surprised if at some point pretty soon you see a Hillary Clinton, who I believe will be President Clinton, decide who should be the leader of the DNC coming forward in the future.
Javier Becerra, thank you very much. Good to have you with us today, sir.
So here's the latest from WikiLeaks this morning. It apparently reveals that Bill Clinton's idea to keep foreign contributions rolling in the Clinton Foundation, if Hillary Clinton does end up in the White House, is revealed in these emails. Ed Henry joins us now. So what would a possible Clinton administration do about those foreign contributions to the Clinton Foundation, Ed?
Well, Martha, this may be yet another example we're seeing from these WikiLeaks emails of what the Clintons say in public and what they're really saying in private. So in the summer of 2015, they said, look, if Hillary Clinton is elected, Bill Clinton will resign from the Clinton Foundation and they will stop accepting foreign contributions. They said it this past summer, actually. Well, look at the emails from April of 2015. It turns out there was a conference call, Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea Clinton. And according to this email exchange we just found moments ago, April of 2015, the position of Bill Clinton in private is, quote, the final option would mirror the 2008 Memorandum of Understanding Agreement. That's what they signed with the Obama administration, where the foundation submits new foreign government contributions and those of a substantial size increase to an independent body, White House, State Department, for review. The obvious challenge with this is that there is no independent body to make that review. So Bill Clinton's position in private was actually, well, let's maybe keep the foreign money coming in, send it to an independent body, even though there's not really an independent body to review whether it's ethical or not. Kind of interesting. They say publicly we're going to ban them, privately maybe we'll keep it going, Martha.
And they've gone back and forth on whether or not Bill Clinton would stay involved and Chelsea would stay involved, or he would back out of it and she would stay in. So, yeah, one to watch. And the FBI part of that story as well is percolating. Ed, thank you very much.
Good to see you.
You too.
I didn't realize until yesterday that there are 5 FBI field offices that are investigating the Clinton Foundation, that even when Comey was saying we're not going to go forward on emails, he didn't say anything about over here where they had decided they were going all out with 5 different field offices investigating the foundation for fraud and corruption.
That's Gingrich with Sean Hannity last night after a 2011 memo by a top Bill Clinton aide that describes the overlap between the foundation and the former president's for-profit opportunities, something that aide Doug Band called Bill Clinton, Inc. Carl Higbee, former Navy SEAL, spokesman for the Great American PAC and a Trump supporter. Emily Tish Sussman, campaign director of the Center for American Progress Action Fund. Good day to both of you.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay, so you pick up the Wall Street Journal 7-page story by Devlin Barrett about the foundation, about the server, about Terry McAuliffe in Virginia. I think the one takeaway is that there's so much happening with this family right now in an active way.
Yeah.
Whether it goes anywhere or leads anywhere is difficult to say or conclude right now. But there is so much action surrounding this family as we speak now, Carl.
It's like a bowl of oatmeal of controversy. And the fact is, you look at what happens every single time something new comes out, they attack, like they're attacking James Comey right now. James Comey didn't do anything. Like, he was probably more hated than Anthony Weiner at this point on both sides, but he didn't do anything wrong. And he can't let the the course of an election affect the timeline of an investigation, because it's so pertinent to the American people right now. And had they have had all these emails that they found on Huma's computer during the time when Hillary said that she turned everything over that was subpoenaed, we wouldn't be here right now. We would have been back in July.
Well, I think that it's actually very interesting, the dynamic between going after Comey and who is praising him, who is going attacking him right now. What I actually think is actually very pertinent to the attacks on Comey is that from the Trump side, that he's been saying from the beginning, he's corrupt. It's part of the rigged system. The Clintons have him under his thumb. And now he's turning around and saying he's the hero. And I think that for people who are looking at this election as a whole, look, we can get into the day-to-day, the 24-hour cycle. It's very hard to follow all of these stories. As you say, there's many on the Clinton side. There's more on the Trump side. But for anyone to say that this election would be rigged, that the Clintons would be...
More controversy on the Trump side?
There absolutely is. There's new stories out today about his use of the tax loopholes that has now been closed because it was was very controversial. There's an ongoing investigations about his. It was not closed. It was legally dubious when he did it. And his own tax attorney said it was legally dubious when he did it. There's ongoing investigations into Trump University.
But Emily, just come back to the main point you were making about James Comey. The main point is this: he would not have to do anything if Hillary Clinton did not make the choice to put a server in her basement of her New York home.
And that was not a good choice. And she has said from the beginning it is not a good choice. And what it created was a smoke storm. But what we've seen time and time again is that it does create some question into the Clintons, but it's smoke, but no fire. There's never any fire.
I think one story that's being overlooked in a lot of this, because there's so much attention on what the FBI is doing or not doing right now, is this Clinton Foundation investigation that apparently is happening, and that was buried over the weekend and again on Monday. So this is going on right now, Carl.
This is going to go on, and it's going to go on past the election, whether they make a choice to indict her or not. And the issue here is how much are the American people willing to take? Now, the American people right now are making a decision based on voting for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, forget the independent candidates, whether they're offended enough to not vote for Donald Trump because he called someone fat or something like that, or they're not offended enough to vote for Hillary Clinton despite a multitude of fraud and potential convictions coming down the line.
Well, this is for voters to decide. Emily, when you look at the tracking poll right now, and today we got the one from ABC, and it shows Trump leading her by a point. I don't know if that's ever happened before. If it has, it's been several weeks or many months. Is the enthusiasm that you had seen for your candidate now starting to wane in light of the constant drip of these headlines? How concerned are you about that, Emily?
Well, actually, most of the polls are showing people are generally unchanged. They're pretty baked in at this point. The difference between the candidates is pretty stark. And what people, I mean, emails, it's not like, so this is a new concept talking about Clinton's emails. I think people are paying very close attention in this election. It's unlike other things we've seen before.
Do you worry about the middle, though? I mean, you got 46% are probably still making up their mind.
They are still making up their mind, and a lot of people have started voting already because their minds are made up entirely. But Trump would need to gain a lot of ground and show that he is quite different a candidate that he has been up until this point to really swing those voters. And it's very hard to say, considering voting has already started and the fact that we have just under
22 million have voted already. Okay, Emily, you do not concede that point. Noted. We'll see what happens in 7 days. Carl, thank you.
Emily, maybe for Trump.
Thanks for you.
Thanks, Bill.
Martha, what's next?
So Donald Trump hitting Hillary Clinton hard over the latest email controversy, as y'all were just discussing, saying that it is the biggest scandal since Watergate. Will that strategy help him close the gap? And what about the states he's looking at now? Trump supporter General Michael Flynn joins us coming up.
Since Watergate. Hillary Clinton wants to blame everyone else for her mounting legal troubles. But she has brought this situation onto herself. She's got nobody to blame but herself.
So Donald Trump yesterday slamming Hillary Clinton again and again, really, on this renewed FBI investigation into the emails. The Republican nominee hoping that this issue is going to be one that can help him turn the tide on Election Day. Joined now by Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, a former director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, I should say, and a Donald Trump advisor. Thank you very much, General. Good to have you with us today.
Yeah, nice to be here, Martha. Thanks for having me, and thanks for being patient.
So, no problem. We were supposed to have you on earlier in the show, I should point out, but we're glad that you made it in time. Thank you very much. So, in terms of the internal discussion at the campaign right now, what do you think is the main focus? Are we going to hear about this FBI thing over and over, or is it going to expand to something else?
Martha, I will tell you, I've been with Donald Trump for the last week or so, and the momentum has shifted. It really started last week. And then, of course, with this bombshell report, I think that you're going to see even more momentum. But we felt really, really good at the end of last week, and as we came into this week, even better. Very, very positive. I mean, here's what the American public has to choose between. Does the American public want just more corruption and more scandals, or do they want to be unified and given enormous opportunity? And that's the kind of stuff that Donald Trump is talking about. I mean, his message, his contract that he's talking about, the job opportunities and the jobs that he's going to be creating. I mean, all the typical things that he's been out there really just beating the drum about.
Yep.
On the Hillary Clinton side, I mean, what we know is we have 3 investigations going on. We have the Anthony Weiner investigation. We have the Clinton Foundation investigation, which does not get talked about enough, and that's a big one. And now we have the reopening of the Hillary Clinton investigation because of this new discovery of 650,000 emails, many of which I believe they are finding out are classified. So we have elements
do you know that for sure?
Well, here's what I would tell you. What I know is that the Bureau is having to sort of, rampage through the intelligence community and the investigative community to get cleared personnel to be able to look at these emails. So if they're looking for cleared personnel, that means that they've probably discovered classified information in this 650,000.
Or it could be that, that's a possibility, and they want to make sure that the wrong eyes don't fall on it if they stumble across something.
Yeah, I think from what I'm hearing and what I know, that they put the word out to get cleared people in there to look at these things. So we're talking about, we have elements of extortion with a guy like Anthony Weiner. I mean, I've been doing this business a long time. Intelligence, counterintelligence, been dealing with spies. You got a guy in Anthony Weiner where you now have the elements of extortion, potentially espionage. And this all goes back to Hillary Clinton's decision to have an unclassified server to do government business and then not telling anybody about it and trying to pretend like it's not a big deal. She is showing zero accountability. And for them to go after Director Comey, I mean, Director Comey, the guy, say what you want to say, but he's doing what any good law enforcement person would do. They found new evidence. They've got to reopen this investigation. And Hillary Clinton knows how bad this is.
All right, General,
so for them to go around...
I want to jump in because I just want to put up on the screen, around this time every day we start to go through the WikiLeaks emails that are out. We have a brand new one that I want to put on the screen so people at home can read it, and I want to get your reaction to this and see what you think. This is March 2nd, 2015, right around the time that the subpoena was out to ask for those emails from Congress. And John Podesta tells Cheryl Mills, "We are going to have to dump all those emails, so better do so sooner than later." And Mills replies, "Think you just got your new nickname," with a smiley face. Not sure what nickname she's referring to there, but what's your reaction to that, sir?
Yeah, well, okay, here's my reaction. And I've been involved in a lot of investigations, okay? I've been involved in a lot of intelligence operations. And let me tell you something, that is so wrong. So here's what this is about. This is about lying, dishonesty, deceit of the American public at the highest levels of our government for someone who thinks that she should be the next president of the United States. And so when Donald Trump and the sort of a new slogan that he didn't really like that much, which is called "Drain the Swamp," I mean, the American people are sick and tired of the deceit and the dishonesty. And one of the things that Donald Trump keeps talking about is he keeps talking about we need to change this behavior in Washington, D.C. We need to get rid of the corruption. We need to bring honesty and trustworthiness back to the American people.
Before I let you go, I had Javier Becerra on, the congressman, earlier, and he basically says, you got to forget all these emails because they're all coming from the Russians, and that there's, a link between Donald Trump and the Russians wanting to affect this election. You're an intelligence individual. They say 17 agencies say all this came from the Russians. Quick thought on your take on that question.
Yeah, I would use Irish on you here, Martha, but I won't for your audience. But it's baloney, okay? It's absolute baloney, and it's an absolute distraction to what Hillary Clinton knows she did, and what she did was totally wrong, and she should step down. She should not be running for president of the United States. The American public's not going to have it anyways on the 8th of November when they elect Donald Trump to be the next president.
So no connection between a Russian effort to affect our election and Donald Trump?
It's utter nonsense. This is utter nonsense. So when this is a tactic that the Democratic and the Clinton machine are using to try to distract from what they know to be true, which there's incredible level of deceit here, Martha, an incredible level. And I'm telling you, I'm sick of it. I've had enough of it. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I know that Donald Trump, in his speeches out there, and he's talking to tens of thousands of people at these various audiences that he gets around the country, and he's talking a lot about this. And believe me, the American public is responding in a very, very positive way.
I gotta say thank you,
and I'm telling you, on the 8th of November, he will be elected as the next president.
Thank you for your time, sir. We'll see you next time, General. FBI Director James Comey feeling the heat from all over pretty much today in Washington for his decision to publicly notify Congress that he needed to reopen the Clinton email investigation. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley telling Director Comey that he didn't go far enough in explaining what is going on, saying, quote, in the absence of additional authoritative information from the FBI in the wake of your vague disclosure, Congress and the American people are left to sift through anonymous leaks from Justice Department officials to the press